For the whole month we have been talking about the factors for the sharpening of controlling faculties, both from the theoretical and practical aspects. Today is the last day of the month and last day of the year. We are going to wind up this subject, the remaining two factors of sharpening the faculties. They are very easy, namely to overcome difficulties such as pain in the body, which you may experience in the course of the practice, to try to overcome it with heroic energy and not to stop halfway while you are walking along the path to reach the final goal. As for these two things, that is two more factors out of 9 for the sharpening of controlling faculties. The first one is wherein one overcomes pain by renunciation. In Pali, it says tatacha avibhuya nekhamena. And the second one, or the last one, is by not stopping halfway. That is andharacha adyosanena. So while you are practicing at the risk of one's body and life, without regard to your body and life, and enduring pain, you are bound to encounter physical and mental pain, physical pain leading to mental distress in the body unavoidably. At that time, you are required to be patient, to practice patience and forbearance. That has been given in the text. While you are practicing without regard to your body and life, to sharpen your controlling faculties, such as faith, energy, mindfulness, concentration and wisdom, you need to be patient and forbearance. There are bound to be unbearable pains, sufferings, physical sufferings such as aching, itchiness and so on. Especially when one is deepening one's concentration, one may feel some crawling sensation on the face, although it may be on a pinpoint area, one may feel it very extremely unbearable. For those who cannot bear it, will at once go and scratch this itchiness without being mindful about the movement on the hand or the arm. And in this way, one's concentration is said to be disrupted. So, every time, if one is accustomed to scratching the itchiness or trying to overcome itchiness by scratching, then one will not be able to withstand the other sensations, whether they are minute sensations or medium sensations or large sensations. They will not be able to bear them because one has not developed the power of forbearance. Not only will one disturb one's practice, there can arise one's ill will, one will be upset with this kind of itchiness or unbearable pain, and one will become short-tempered. For those who are short-tempered, will feel this way and will disrupt his or her concentration. If the sensation arises for 1 minute, and if one is not being able to bear with mindfulness, then one will be losing this 1 minute of practice due to the lack of this perseverance and forbearance, so that one will not be able to cultivate concentration. There will be no momentary concentration, kanika samadhi, Kanika Samadhi will be disrupted, the mind will become distracted. At this time, there are out of 3 stages of energy we've been discussing all along. The 3 stages. The first one is called initial launching energy, known in Pali as Arambha Dhatu, which is applied in the beginning of the practice. After having learned the method of practice, you undertake it. At the very beginning, you apply this initial launching energy. Later, you pay attention to your abdomen and note rising and falling. Every time it rises and falls. And you practice so that your dirty mind will reach the object to be noted, in this case rising and falling. You are applying the driving force. When rising takes place, you note it so that your dirty mind reaches it. And when falling takes place, you are activating your mindfulness so as to anchor your dirty mind on object of attention, namely falling. Such is the initial launching energy. Just like growing a plant, nurturing a plant, sapling, in walking and sitting. In sitting, your main objects are rising and falling. And in walking, too, every step you take will be noted so that your noting mind reaches the object of attention, in this case lifting, moving and placing. And you do it with energy. So all these main objects, whether you are sitting, you are doing sitting meditation or walking meditation, are noted with the preparation in the mind that you will note all objects and not to miss them. Using ardent energy. That is the second stage of energy, heroic energy. The first stage is known as Arambha Dhatu. The second stage is Nikkhamma Dhatu. While you are applying this initial launching energy and noting every arising object, you must be prepared not to miss these objects in a practice of the high level discipline of the way of mindfulness, which guarantees assured life. For which you have to pay a price and you have to take risks. You cannot get it at cheap price, you have to pay for it at the risk of your body and life. Not having regard to body and life. So while doing that, you may come across difficult situations, in which case you've got to boost up your energy, because ordinary initial launching energy is not enough to overcome these difficult situations. So you've got to boost it up. Only with uplifted energy will you be able to overcome these difficulties which you are bound to encounter in the course of the practice. So, in order to know them, you have to use heroic energy. That is, the energy which grows, increases and develops so as to overcome the laid-back mentality known as Lina Chitta, and then is slackness, overcoming slackness and laziness. So this is the kind of energy that you've got to use. Hence it is known as Nikkhamma, overcoming or liberating energy, in order to overcome difficult situations. Difficult situations such as Kausajja, that is indolence. You will feel indolent. You might feel indolent in the course of the practice as you face difficult situations because you cannot overcome it. So in this case, you got to use the second stage energy, which will overcome these difficult situations, in this case, laziness. So, this is how you use this nekhamma viriya energy to overcoming energy or liberating energy, so that you can overcome these difficult situations. Then you will be practicing what is known as Vedana-nupassana Satipatthana, mindfulness of feelings or sensations. With one stroke of mindfulness, there will be one stroke of mindfulness of this feeling or sensation, Vedana-nupassana, contemplating the sensations of feeling. So if you are able to do for 1 minute, there will be 1 minute of the practice of Vedana-nupassana Satipatthana, mindfulness of sensations or feeling, or the contemplation of Vedana. In this, while you are doing that, in the Vedana-nupassana, mindfulness of sensations, there are involved mindfulness, sati, and then the deepened concentration as a result of the activation of mindfulness, and then the driving force in order to reach your noting mind, your noted object, so as to be concurrent. As you are able to come to face to face with the object of attention, you are bound to see the realities, the true nature of the objects noted, because you are exerting this second stage energy to overcome difficulties with perseverance. So, in this way, you will be able to overcome sensations and gain the upper hand of these unbearable feelings. This nekhamma dhatu or nekhamma virya, this energy overcome pain or liberating energy, gains the upper hand or overcomes sluggishness, despicable indolence, and by applying this stage of energy, you are able to gain the upper hand of unbearable situations. And such kind of virya energy also is called dalla virya, steadfast energy, which in essence is perseverance. When one encounters difficult situations, one will not shrink back. One is determined to advance forward without withdrawing, without regard to body and life, applying this steadfast energy to overcome slackness and sluggishness and wishing to give up, and then the state of not wishing to exert energy, or even if one exerts energy, one's energy gets exhausted, one becomes exhausted very soon, known as sloth torpor. This also will be overcome, and finally the despicable type of indolence. Because the energy is strong, steadfast, one will be able to activate mindfulness so that the mindfulness becomes sustained, leading to the deepening of concentration, in this case the momentary concentration, kanika samadhi, so that at this stage one will come to understand the nature of this unbearable feeling of pain, known as dukkha, kayika dukkha, physical pain leading to mental pain. This dukkha has its qualities in terms of natural characteristics, function and manifestation. It has the characteristic of unbearableness. It causes unbearable situation. One feels unpleasant. It is the characteristic of unpleasantness, feeling of unpleasant. So, such a feeling will be experienced, leading to the function of dukkha vedana, unbearable sensations, that it tends to weaken. It has a function of weakening its associated mental states, so that the mind becomes exhausted, becomes wearied. Such is the function of energy. In this way, the dukkha vedana, the unbearable feeling, has its qualities in terms of natural characteristic and function. And you feel very tormented, like when you are pierced, when the body is pierced with a thorn or a pin. You feel very tormented, become unbearable. So this will be manifested in your mind. So out of these things, out of these qualities, namely natural characteristic, function and manifestation of unbearable pain, if you know just one thing, one quality, that is tantamount to the practice of Vedana Nupassana Satipatthana, contemplation or mindfulness of feelings. So at this stage, as you are able to contain this unbearable situation, and you make it a practice to bear it and to overcome it, you come to a situation where you'll be able to challenge any sensations, because you are able to apply this steadfast energy in order to bear them. So, if you're on the other hand, if you're not able to bear them, you will be a loser, because you are having regard to your body and life. You have kind consideration to your body and life, so that your mind is slack and you are laid back, which is tantamount to being cowardly, and then you will not wish to exert any energy, and even if you exert energy, you very soon get exhausted. So this kind of energy is not so. As for the devoted yogi, he or she will be able to overcome it, and just note the feeling as feeling, so much so that one will not be knowing where the feeling is taking place. For instance, in any part of the body, or the form concept as regards the part of the body will be gone, will not be known. Instead, you will be knowing only the pain as pain, or noting pain as pain. So only when you identify the part of the body, such as the leg or the hand or the back or the face, where you feel the pain, that you identify yourself as I, you, person, being, individual, man, woman, and so on. Now, you are not identifying. Instead, you are not identifying the location or the form concept. Instead, you are only knowing pain as pain, or you are noting pain as pain, so that the form concept will be gone from you, disappear from you, so that there will be no such identity or concept as I, person, being, individual, man, woman, and so on. Only in this case there will be no I concept. Only when you have this I concept, or this identification of form concept, you will be feeling that, oh, I am bearing, I am suffering from this pain, and so on. Now there's no form concept, there's no I identification, so that you will be knowing only pain as pain. It is the pain which is feeling the pain, and nothing else. There's no concept behind it. So that previously you are identifying what did not exist. That means there's no such thing as I, you, person, being, individual, man, woman, form concepts. But you are thinking that there was such a thing. Now you don't identify. There's no identity. So that form concept will be gone from your mind. So you are only noting Vedana, pain as pain, so that you will be enjoying to note the pain, to activate your mindfulness to the pain, and you feel very good, and you enjoy it. Previously, you are afraid of it. You are afraid of pain coming to you, or when the pain comes, you are really afraid, and you cannot overcome it. Now you are overcoming the pain, so that your noting it becomes very good, very enjoyable. You will relish it to the extent that it is nice to know the pain. Let it come. I want to note it, that sort of thing. You'll be longing for the pain. So this is a stage where you are coming to the climax of the practice of Vipassana, the mindfulness of feeling, because you are the winner now. You are overcoming it. You are a very dedicated yogi. So at this stage, with the overcoming of pain, you will feel calm physically and mentally, known as positive calmness, tranquility. Just like when you have a burden on your shoulder, heavy load you are shouldering on your shoulder, now you are throwing it off from your shoulder, as though the burden has gone from your shoulder, so too you feel very relieved of the burden, in this case the pain, so that you have a feeling of well-being. So that's why it is said that by being able to come to the climax of Vipassana, you are bound to feel calmness in body and mind. And because you are able to note the object, so as to deepen your concentration, you are set to the sharpening this controlling faculty, in this case sharpening the faculty of concentration. Your concentration becomes very heightened, at which stage, if there is no pain, you won't feel interested in the practice of meditation, because you are longing for pain and the pain doesn't come, because you are winning over the pain. So some people would make it purposely, make themselves or create pain purposely, so as to note the pain which has been absent in him or her for a long time. Because earlier on you were afraid of pain, now you gain the upper hand. You come to challenge the pain. Let it come, because you are building up momentum in the practice. When you are applying this heroic energy in order to overcome physical pain, you can not only come to the stage of challenging pain to come so as to overcome it, you are also knowing this pain in increments and minute sensations of pain coming one after another, all giving place to the new. And knowing that such as knowing the impermanent nature of this sensation in a clear-cut manner until you are able to note it to the last minute, that is to overcome, to observe that the sensations are gone, disappeared from you. So then you will make a comment to yourself, that alas, this sensation also is impermanent.
Sumapamya Urinaya Chia Soyade Pontanani body Paulo Duro Timbaru Sadi Valley Pontanani came here. Pinya di Jaguare Core Pogotata Pinya left Jaguare Bajale Soragana Makanahu the Wawa did the Chale. Two Pachati, I level the Wawa did it. The Wawa did it with an Azugo. Now, a deep Sudi, I level Nadia Su, I level tea. The sugar with an island, the Wawa did it. She did it. Pawanasik, I level the Wawa did it. Dhamma, Nisada, Niji was Ravani. But the Walema hope. That she needed a Kaulima hope. Ataka hope. Pora with an islet, she did it. Nandavo is Ravani. Irema Atama Paus, that she did it. Era another Vipassana covered. But in that time, Vipassana, one in the Yogi Puku Ha. Wait up, who law. The water they go, Tifu, Kansahu, Yala, that day, Tifu Kansahu, wait up, who lost her. Tifu Yala, Tifu Yala, Sara, era the Agon of the Soroshi, to Muamapia Tamu, Jisu, Naide, pinning the Israel, era Layana. I am pinning the and particular tea, so I don't know. Jisu, Naide. To whom I must die, Majanadachi must be so nice in the 11. That a payashi letter by the
so knowing that this is impermanent, you come to the knowledge of nature of Vipassana jhana, as is said, by being able to contemplate impermanence, you come to a definite decision, adhimokkha, so that your faculty of faith will also grow. Namely, this Satindriya, liberty, you are bound to gain the controlling faculty of faith and confidence. This is coming to a decision, definite decision. Such is one of the controlling faculties. You are gaining the power of controlling faculty. So as you go on meditating, you become free of form concept. There will be no form concept in you. You are free of form concept. That means you are free of peññati, the form concept. Only when you have concept, you will be identifying as person, being, individual. Now, since now you are not noting form concept, you are only noting the individual essences or the elements or natural characteristics that's known as sabhava. You are only noting sabhava, the elements of the natural characteristics only. So that this is not you are noted object. The noting mind also is the element, and the noted object also is an element. There is no form concept. They are realities. They are Dhamma. Dhamma means nisada najiva, that neither self nor soul nor individual. So you are just noting the sabhava, there's no atta, self or soul in it. Such is contemplating the mindfulness of non-self, anatta vipassana, so that you'll be able to strengthen your controlling faculty of non-delusion. So when you are practicing these four foundations of mindfulness, as you practice every arising in the body, you are practicing the kaya-nupassana satipatthana, the contemplation of the body, and knowing every arising in the body. When you are noting every feeling, good or bad in your body, this is kaya-nupassana satipatthana. And every thought and ideas, good or bad, are noted in order to practice the kaya-nupassana satipatthana, and noting every general object, such as seeing, hearing, and so on. Such is the practice of Dhamma-nupassana satipatthana. And by doing this, you are able to cultivate Pecchaka Jnana, experiential knowledge. So that when there is unbearable situation, you try to boost up your energy in order to overcome unbearable situations. So there are many advantages of practice of satipatthana with these faculties. There are many things to talk about. Even it will take one more month to talk about all these faculties. So when we go to the ninth factor, namely not stopping halfway, that means once you practice in order to reach the goal, cherished goal in this case is the first part consciousness, Sarabhati Mega. So not to stop halfway until you reach that goal, to walk along the path, to walk along the path to the cherished goal. And you exert this parikammadadu, the final energy, striving energy to reach the goal. So in this way, if you are able to exert energy, you are bound to activate mindfulness, leading to deepened concentration, cultivating insight knowledge, progressing along the path until you come to the consummation of the practice towards the stillness of formations. Coming to the stop of the mind and body, which are flowing like current from process to non-process, bhavata to abhavata, from process to non-process. You come to the stillness of formations with perception of cessation. So this is the final goal, that you have to practice and not to stop halfway. So the yogi, when a yogi is feeling dull or not feeling that he or she is not progressing, he or she should be able to do self-examination by going through these 9 factors for the sharpening of faculties, whether one is exerting energy. If the practice is not progressing or seems not to be progressing, you should do this self-examination. Whether you have faith and confidence in the practice, or you are doing respectfully continuously, or you are applying these suitabilities as you think fit, and if the concentration doesn't seem to be going well, to repeat the method of concentration, to remember the sign of concentration and repeat it. And also balance at the same time these enlightenment factors, bodhimatamas, as and when required, practicing without regard to your body and life. And when you come across unbearable situations, you have to use this perseverance and strong energy to overcome these difficult situations. All these things must be examined, whether you are conforming to these factors for the sharpening of faculties. And if you are able to apply these things as and when necessary, you are bound to sharpen the faculties so that you'll be able to deepen the concentration and cultivate knowledge. Of course, as I said, if your concentration is strong, you are bound to progress, and if the mindfulness is strong, you are bound to intensify your awareness and widen your perspective. And if your faith and confidence is strong, your awareness will become very clear. And with the energy, with the application of energy, you're bound to progress and be able to experience, to cultivate this experiential knowledge. That's all for today.